Oh, not the John Cena intro. John Cena sucks.
John Cena sucks. You know, there is a new John Cena movie on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, man.
That might be my next movie review.
Ricky Stenicki, man. I think it's really cool. I think it's hilarious. You know what's so crazy? I am not the biggest John Cena fan, but I'm a big wrestling fan, and he held down the company for 10 years. I appreciate John Cena.
He's a company man.
No, he really is. He's a company man. But funny thing about it was he was mad at The Rock for that. So it's just funny. And then now The Rock's back on TV. He's trying to do this whole like
is there a beef?
Villain thing. It's always been a beef. It's always been a beef. Okay, quick lore, guys. Quick lore. John Cena and The Rock faced off at WrestleMania twice. And John Cena was really, really, really upset because basically, like, the thing in wrestling is they don't like part-timers, right? Part-timers, people who can come in and just leave, like that, right?
It's a beef.
And you can tell The Rock wasn't really in his element because there's this video online that shows he had his lines written in his hand. And John Cena kind of called him out for it. He even did it in his promo. It was really, you know what's so funny? We had to have like a wrestling pod in a second because this is just amazing because John Cena really does great promos. He does really good promos. He's almost like Dusty Rhodes, like how he cuts his promos and stuff, man. He's really, really good. And he'll read you in real time. You know, that's what I appreciate about it the most because John Cena can just come off the cuff like that. You know, even like the whole Thugonomics thing when he was doing like the rap thing, like it was cool, man. I gotta give it to him. John Cena's hilarious. He's a real character.
I remember John Cena. I think this was on the tail end of when I was actually paying attention to wrestling like that. But he would do these freestyles.
Yep.
And he would wear these really baggy
Oh,
shorts.
yeah, with the jerseys. Oh, classic
John Cena.
Classic John Cena. I loved it.
So there's a beef.
I wouldn't say maybe not anymore as much, but yes, there was previous beef because, again, he didn't like that The Rock was considered a part-timer in the company. He can just kind of like come in and go.
You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of working a normal office job, and there are the people that get there on time and do their jobs and take on additional responsibilities as required, and then there's that one person that shows up at 10 and leaves at 4, 3 or 4 days out of the week.
But I'm efficient.
Maybe that's true. I know, but still, that dynamic between the person who feels like they're doing more is...
Talk to your boss.
It's talk to your boss.
Don't talk to me.
That's what it is.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
I don't know, man. I think like when it comes to wrestling, it's a little bit different. But I think also at the same time, I think like you just have to look at it for what it's worth. Because again, once somebody's out of here, man, they're just out of here. Especially when if Hollywood calls me, I don't gotta take another body slam, another top turnbuckle jump senton bomb from Jeff Hardy anymore. Yeah, I'm out of here. Catch me later, yo.
It's a tough job.
It's wild, man. It's so wild sometimes. I don't know why John Cena felt that way. That's my mostly thing. Because it's like, at some point, you have to transition your career. There has to be, even like for football players, right? Like there has to be a transition period to where you go like, and you just think about it like, damn, I don't want to take another hit anymore.
Well, that's why I love the podcasting era, because the players that you actually really like, sometimes they have a podcast that you can listen to now and get their insight and learn more about them.
Draymond Green is going to be one of those people. I can't wait for him to just kind of like stop playing basketball and really give us the tea. Oh, I can't wait.
See, my thing about Draymond is he's kind of got the villain role the same way that Skip Bayless has the villain role,
for sure,
which we were talking about earlier. But I need to see him play out his career just in case they can make another run.
You think he gets another one, at least one?
No.
Not with the Warriors?
I think it's too far gone.
Is it? The magic's over?
You know what, though? If Kuminga were to blossom, I think they need another star or better complementary pieces at this point now that Clay and Draymond are kind of on the tail end of their primes.
Yeah, and not even just on the tail end of their primes. You can almost see them walking out the door. a little bit. You can kind of see they got one foot just kind of touching the outside of the door.
Well, Clay, he just wants to be in the Bay.
I think Clay just likes the Bay. To be honest with you, I really think I think you ever notice like when players kind of like find their family, like I'm just gonna be here, which we thought that Dame was gonna just be a trailblazer for the rest of his life, but you can kind of tell that they've built a real family, community, a brotherhood, and I appreciate that. Like, and it works.
I think sometimes what our brains that want to compare players, we're thinking, because the media is like this, who's going to win the most championships? When you actually could, just like if you work in IT, right?
Yes.
It's like, do you have to be the number one programmer of all time in order to feel good about yourself? You know what I mean?
Some people feel like that though.
That's what sports do. But I think that's more us. And so when we have a player that is cool with their life and they're happy and don't want to play years on years on years.
Yeah, and some people kind of like think about it in the sense of like where they're just like oh man, if I could have just been the number one option on the team or anything like that too as well. I could see that. I could totally see that.
Well, I think people, and this is certainly not a statement about all professional athletes, but you become really good at something because you want to be the best sometimes.
Yeah.
And that's competitive and there's a lot of ego involved. But I think when a player isn't like that, it's just you got to be happy that they can live their lives outside of.
True. Do you think it's like just a competitive edge though? Like some people just aren't necessarily meant to compete and they're just there to collect a check?
I think that they all got there because they're competitive. I just think you have hyper competitive, physically superior athletes like LeBron, like the guys that we talk about that they're just so good and competitive. It's like you have to be the top to be good enough. I think it was Nick Wright was saying, but if you look across the last 20 years, it's usually a top 3 player that's winning the championship every year.
Oh, that's a valid point. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I can see that. I mean, yeah, I want to say people are competitive, and I bring up one name just like Dwight Howard, right? Dwight Howard had the best chance of probably at getting a championship with the Lakers with Kobe on his team. And I don't necessarily really know what the beef was, but I feel like he just didn't like being bossed around by Kobe. That's what it seemed like.
Well, I think that's I see myself as an alpha. Mm-hmm. And now I'm more of a Sigma male myself.
Oh, here come that red pill talk. Here it come, y'all.
Anyways, I don't care if you're Kobe Bryant. You're not going to talk to me like that. I don't care if you're Michael Jordan. I'm Horace Grant and I've got goggles.
Not the goggles.
I mean, but you know what I'm saying?
No, I get it. It's man shit. But I mean, I don't know. I think I don't know. I don't know if I would. I don't know how I would react. I guess maybe if I'm trying to use my logic and my reasoning behind it, I'm playing with Kobe Bryant. He is a 5-time NBA champion at that time. I think it commands respect to a certain degree. Maybe not bullying, but respect.
I think, yes, if you think about it and you try to center yourself in wisdom, yes, my best option here is to learn what I can from this winner. But these are athletes in their 20s, dominant, been worshipped all their lives, basically.
Especially in Orlando, when you're basically like the second coming of Shaq in Orlando.
And also, it's like, I get that you could have all this hardware, but if I think I'm a better athlete than you, like, you're not telling me shit.
Dwight Howard, stop it.
Dwight Howard. Okay, this is the talk that we aren't going to get into today, but like some of the modern day NBA versus the old timers who say the league was more physical. Yeah, but it's like basketball is a sport that is physical, and if I'm Dwight Howard and I block everything that's below 13 feet, it's just like, I don't care who you are.
True, and I can agree to that with that type of mindset. But again, it is still a team sport, but at the same time, it's just one of those things where I'm on a team with Kobe Bryant. This man has won 5 NBA championships here. This is his team. This is it. It's sort of like the same thing that I want to say, and we can get to this topic, that LeBron was going through when he went to the Heat. Like, for that first year, he kind of had to let Dwayne Wade, run the team. But then Dwayne Wade, logic, reasoning, I got to pass you the torch. This is now your team.
And I think that Kobe in 2008 through 2010, when he went to the finals and won 2 championships, he was my favorite player. And I was reticent to say that LeBron was better than him because he was just so good. And watching those finals,
we were supposed to get
him.
We were supposed to get the 2009 finals with LeBron and Kobe. We were supposed to get that. LeBron, you messed that up. But God rest his soul, we kind of look at Kobe different now. I even think before then. I'm still say that. Even before then. But
you could also say that, and the respect probably should have went from Dwight to Kobe. But if I'm thinking in the same lines as Dwayne Wade, saying LeBron's in his prime, I'm going to defer to him. Maybe Kobe should have said, how do I get Dwight to be as dominant as possible? How do I work with him so I can win more rings?
What do you think you do? You're supposed to be like, hey,
Kobe only had
get it together.
Kobe only had one mechanism, and that was to be kind of an asshole.
You call it being an asshole. I call it being, hey, this is a championship team. Where you came from, they don't win chips. We win chips over here.
Yeah, and all I'm saying is 26-year-old Dwight Howard isn't going to just think, oh, so you won all those championships, but I'm in my prime now.
Hey, man, however you want to look at it.
I'm not saying he was right. I'm just saying you can kind of understand it.
It is what it is. It is what it is. You gotta look at it for what it's worth and how it goes, how it starts. People are just people at the end of the day, man. And you gotta be with that. But also at the same time, you gotta understand that everybody is not on the same accord. Everybody is not going to be in their best winning mindset, their best winning behavior.
And that's what I'm saying about Dwight Howard. It makes sense even if it's dumb.
Yeah, it does. Well, while we're on the Lakers,
it's human nature.
I'm not fighting with Kobe. I'm not gonna fight 5 NBA rings. I'm just not doing that. I think I'm gonna talk a little junk under my breath, but I'm a definitely get in line.
I probably wouldn't either, but I'm not 6'10" and built like a Greek god and can touch the top of the backboard.
And you saw Kobe wasn't scared for nothing. My man said, "You're soft."
Well, you can call me
soft.
Call me soft all you want. It's my business.
Oh, Jesus Christ, I gotta bleep that out.
That is the most legendary Dwight Howard quote ever. And it's really applicable to a lot of different people.
And a lot of different things, but further beyond.
Thanks for giving us that one, Dwight.
Talk about foreshadowing. Jesus Christ. While we're on the Lakers, LeBron.
Winston pointed out that I gave LeBron a stray when I talked about his hairline, and I feel really bad about it now.
You should. You need to take that back.
But I need everybody to understand that LeBron is my favorite player, and I wish sometimes that he would leave the Lakers and go to a better team so he could win more rings.
Hold on, wait. Tell him where he should go, Dave. Tell him what you said, where he should go.
I don't think he should do it, but I'm just saying, LeBron's rich. He could take the veterans minimum and play anywhere he wanted.
But it's about legacy and what people are going to talk about. I would look at it like this. It's a story game. Think about it. Yes, we do not talk about Shaq at all going to Boston. We don't talk about Shaq at all playing in Cleveland. We don't talk about that.
Big Diesel bought LeBron like a phantom when he arrived in Cleveland.
Yeah, but you get what I'm saying, though?
Hey, thanks for being generous, Diesel. One day we'll meet, and I look forward to it.
I would love to meet Shaq one day. I'm just saying, man, we only talk about Laker and Heat Shaq. And that's only because he's won chips. That's it. That doesn't even exist. Him in Boston. Him in the Cleveland. Those times are erased. We don't even think about it. We don't even discuss it at all.
Yeah, true. But I just wanted to say that I respect LeBron. 40,000 point club.
40,000.
Somebody make some merch
40 racks, bro. Like, Jesus, just trying to even count the numbers of times you think he's actually scored in games.
And he's not done.
It's just like,
and he's not done.
God,
he's got a bionic ankle.
Yeah, me and Dave, we were talking about
ChatGPT is going to get it right.
I'm weak. We were talking about his errors and stuff, and it's like just that Heat error, and then him going back to Cleveland. Those were like, I don't think I've ever seen somebody play at that type of level since a Michael Jordan, and it's wild when he, like, the man really almost had a triple-double average in the playoffs. Like, that has to be talked about. Like, it's insane. It's insane. He's got like some 22,000 assists too as well. Like, what other
it's 22,000 now.
Yeah, that's crazy.
22,000 assists. I don't think anyone has that many. I think, is it Stockton that's got like 14,000?
Yeah, I think it's it's like 14K.
He's either coming up on 10 or I think he has 10,000 rebounds already.
He does, yeah. It's just insane.
But it's just the continuity of it is really, and it's not just the continuity of him as a player. He's had his ups, he's had his downs. A lot of ups though. But when it comes down to it, he's always in the limelight of the conversation.
Period.
And that's what we love about basketball. It gives us something to talk about. It gives us something to distract ourselves from our banal existences. Oops. Corporate word.
Not a corporate word.
Hey, I read an SAT book when I was in high school, and I still remember some of the words, even though they're useless.
I think we all do. I don't think we just use them in regular conversation though. I think that's the funny part about it. But yeah, man, LeBron, congrats, man. 40K.
Congrats, LeBron.
40K. That's
if he gets to 50K and someone doesn't drop 50K for a show, am I? That's a perfect intro music song.
This is why I do not like introducing Dave to hip hop songs, because he just uses them so random. Like, this is so random. They just come out of nowhere. Like, do you just apply them to like your everyday life?
I mean, I can't say that I don't listen to a very small select amount of rap, and most of it you introduced me to. You put that on a CD.
I did. I remember when I gave you that CD. It was hilarious.
He's the old dope peddler, spreading joy wherever he goes. 2 Chainz started off with a nosy. Ooh, hey. Riding 40. Oh, started out with an Ozy. Oh,
gotta love 2 Chainz, man. Gotta love it. You want to talk about Cat's injury? How that's gonna affect the Timberwolves now?
So can we? All right. So who is it? Damn it. Dolphins quarterback Tua.
Mm-hmm.
You still think Tua should have retired last year, right?
Head injuries are just something you can't come back from.
And the only reason I bring that up is because they're saying that Cat, who has some sort of tear in his meniscus, could be back in 4 weeks to play for the playoffs. And it's like, don't do it, Cat. Don't rush it back. That's too soon. That's just my feeling about it. Tua, you should still get your millions.
But it's almost like the Derrick Rose thing, right? Remember when he messed this stuff up, and then he sat. I think it was like for like some odd 200+ days, even at the start of the next season. Didn't come back till mid-season, and then boop again. You know what I mean?
Well, I just think that if you've got an injury that is going to derail the longevity of your remaining career, that you should maybe not play it safe, but you shouldn't play it fast either.
Again, I agree with that. But again, what should be the right time? Because again, this is almost the best run that the Timberwolves can probably get.
No, I totally disagree with that.
Really? Because
here's the sleeper good news, the silver lining about this. Mm-hmm. It means Ant Edwards could go crazy over the next few games. Because Cat's been putting up 20 a game on like 50% field goal and 40% three-point shooting. Yeah. So take all that away, and some points are going to have to come from somewhere.
They are, but I'm looking at it in a longevity type of thing. You're going to run into somebody like a Denver, like a Lakers team, or like even a Golden State team. You need a big man. You need a big man, and especially when he, if not, is the first or second option on the team. I mean, that's going to hurt a little bit. That's going to hurt, especially in the playoffs. That's going to hurt a little bit, man.
So, I mean, I'm not saying that Cat isn't – he's an all-star center, and
Very
I don't want to
so.
say that he isn't a defensive player, but you can make up the points with Ant Edwards, and you've got Rudy Gobert down there.
Yeah, you do.
And he's a perennial defensive player of the year.
Very much so. I agree with you.
So you're not shot yet, and I think Ant Edwards is going to continue to grow.
Yeah.
And if he plays on Team USA and wins a gold medal,
that'd be nice.
He's young. He's coming back.
Yeah.
That man.
That'd be pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. That'd be really pretty cool.
He is going to come back, and it doesn't matter what strip club.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I look at Ant Edwards as like the guy.
I've been in a movie with Adam Sandler. Leave me alone.
Big Adam, not the little.
I really became a bigger Ant Edwards fan watching him in that movie. 'Cause
Really?
It's just like, you can't do anything with him.
Really?
This guy is a freak.
Yeah, man, he's nice. He's really nice. Like he's really, really good, man. I think
I'd like to see Ant Edwards in the dunk competition. There's my all-star. I want him in the dunk competition.
really.
Yes. Have you
Ant
seen
Edwards.
this man dunk?
I mean, yeah, but again, we talked about it.
That's a star.
Which we're gonna do a video on for you guys. We're gonna do a video for you guys about
Reviewing some dunks,
like our favorite dunks, and we're gonna do just a really comprehensive list and give reasons why. But I don't know, man. It's got to be about creativity, bro. Like that's how it is for me. It's always about creativity.
To me, what it's about, and the creativity part is not nothing, but I want to see someone's head over the rim. That's what I want to see.
You just want to see how high they can jump.
I want to see how high they can jump. And Dwight Howard, you're the man.
No, it was nice. I'm not gonna lie, for it's about, for me, when I say creativity, it's about everything, right? Just not just the dunk, but how silly or how memorable, what's the emotion, what's the feeling like?
Like jumping over a car, touching the top, dunking a 12-foot rim.
As much as you want to say it, I don't care. Blake Griffin jumped over the car. It was a spectacle. It was nice. Y'all can hate all y'all want.
Blake
it was
Griffin
fire.
too,
It was
man.
fire. It was fire. It was fire. I don't care what nobody's done it. Nobody's done it since or yet. So
No, Blake, he is one of the best. So
him. He's him.
I think that Dwight Howard, hot take, is the best tall dunk competition dunker ever.
Yes, I can agree with that.
Because there's a difference.
Who do you think is better, him or Akeem?
At dunking?
In the dunk contest? Because
Dwight Howard.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. We got the video for y'all.
Maybe if Wilt Chamberlain had been done in the dunk competition in his prime, this man was a high jumper.
Yeah,
he
I
ran
wonder what that would have
80
looked
yards.
like. I
This
wonder
man
what that
was
would have looked
freak.
like. Yeah, no, he was a freak. From what my dad and granddad said, he was. If y'all think like LeBron and Mike was it, they were like, nah.
No.
Wilt was him. I'm like, but Dad, there's no video. He said, I don't care. If you would have saw what this man was doing on the court, y'all would not even have any type of conversations about it at all whatsoever. That's who Wilt was. I'm like, hey, all right, look, I don't got a dog in this fight. So,
Speaking of great dunkers of all time, Vince Carter.
big VC.
Segue into UNC versus Duke. Let's go Heels.
Woo, it is what, Dave? March Madness.
March Madness is right around the corner.
It is right around the corner, ladies and gentlemen, and we are preparing for Michigan State to win a championship again this year, as we always do. I don't care what y'all have to say.
You got to respect his loyalty to the state of Michigan.
Baby. I stay down. I am 10 toes down with it. All right? I don't care. Michigan and Detroit, everything, okay? We are going, and we're going to win, and we're going to beat whoever's in there. I don't care who it is. I don't care. Even though we lost to Mid-Tennessee like 3 years ago, we still winning.
All right. In addition to our fundraiser for the strip club, we're going to fundraise to get Winston in the hottest Ford car there is.
The Ford car?
Bro, you need to be in a Ford. You're from Detroit.
No, that's facts. My granddad used to be used to be a painter for GM.
If you could drive any Ford truck, car,
Mustang.
What kind? Shelby?
Probably not. It would
GT?
Honestly, yeah, it would probably be a GT or a 5-point like that. Yeah, old school 5-point. Yeah.
What about like a F-150 Raptor?
Yeah, those are. But you know what? I'm never like a big truck kind of guy, just because it's like I'm driving a school bus, bro. Like I don't want to drive a school bus every day. Like, give me something I can rip and run through the streets with. You know, I'm not trying to, not moving sand or logs in my truck.
This will blow your mind and the rest of your minds. When I was 23 years old, I used to be a cross-country coach for a high school, and I drove an activity bus. I did the bus training and everything.
That is hilarious.
Got drug tested.
That is, Dave.
23-year-old me version. Driving around.
I was going to say, if y'all knew 23-year-old Dave, if y'all knew 23-year-old Dave.
I don't think you knew 23-year-old Dave.
I don't, but I knew Dave, and Dave is Dave. Yo, Dave,
I know how to rein it in.
They should have never let that man drive the bus. They should have never let him drive the bus.
You know, it was funny. I was doing the training, and there was this part where you had to back the bus up, like across a parking lot. And the guy who was doing the training, he's like, "You grew up on a farm driving a tractor, didn't you?" And I was like, "No, but I can drive a race car." Vroom, vroom.
Dave had to go take a piss, guys, so yeah, we had to get
And Winston knew by osmosis.
You gotta just know it every 30 minutes, man, for some reason. This guy drinks like a racehorse. But March Madness, man. March Madness is here, and I think that championship week is showing us who's gonna win it. Of course, I'm not gonna say anybody else, so don't ask me. Don't even think about it. It's Michigan State. But I'm gonna let Dave go ahead and give you guys a real sports take on this one.
Well, I got to start with the Tar Heels. Go Heels.
Big Hill.
I wouldn't say that we're a favorite, but since we're in North Carolina, I think this is the best the Tar Heels have been in a few years.
You think so?
R.J. Davis is a bucket. Armando Bacot. I like having someone who's got so much experience.
Yeah,
I think he's a calming presence on our team.
You think so?
Yeah, and speaking of stats, he's played 5 whole years.
Yeah. What's
that man makes
name?
Bank.
What's his name? I think it's like Armando or something.
Armando
like
Bacot.
Yeah, Armando Bacot. Yeah, Armando. Yeah, he is definitely a walking bucket. I've seen his gameplay. It is amazing. I think for him to transition into the NBA too as well is going to be nice.
I don't think.
Really, you don't think so? Why is that? That's a really good question. Now, why is that?
I don't think that he has the shooting that would be necessary to play in the NBA.
Can he grow it? Can he go ahead and make that?
It's been 5
part
years.
Of his game?
It's been 5 years, man.
But college is different than the NBA.
How is college different than the NBA?
Well, you get a little more time to really work on your game in the NBA compared to college. College is kind of like quick. We don't really got time to like really teach you and shit like that. So yeah,
teach you how to like go practice.
Well,
jump shots.
Well, I mean, if we're gonna be honest, like again, they're supposed to be focusing on their studies, Dave. This is still college.
I don't think anyone thinks of it that way, especially since the NIL. Now, what I will say is from everything that I know about him, he has his shit together.
Yes.
Yeah. Like
yes, for sure.
Financially and just I think he sees the big picture.
Yeah.
I don't know that, and I only say this because the league is so different now and it's so shooting oriented and spread the floor oriented. And I don't think physically he's enough of a freak as a center to be one of the centers in the league that doesn't shoot well.
Yeah, for sure. I think again,
he's nice.
The NBA gives people a lot more leeway to grow within their first 3 years than anywhere in the NCAA period.
Yeah, I will say it's a job, so I would expect that he would get better. I think anybody who plays in the NBA and tries to make a roster and is really working at it is
especially when you get to only just play basketball.
They're going to be the best version of their basketball career, but I still don't know if that's enough. And I say that, and for anyone who thinks I'm taking shots at Armando, like when I was in school, Tyler Hansbrough was there, and he had a limited NBA career, and he looked like the best college player in Carolina history. I'm saying as a college player. I'm not saying he was more talented than Jordan or James Worthy or Vince Carter. I'm just saying that in terms of being a dominant college force that didn't quite translate into the modern NBA, like he kind of caught the end of it where he could still be a power forward.
Yeah, he did.
And
he was nice.
And he shot better than Armando. Like he had a better jumper.
Yeah, but he played. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's a different era, but the times have changed. If this was 1995, yeah, he did have like a 5 to 7 year NBA career for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's just different now.
No, I agree. Yeah.
And it's kind of sad, but I like how the players who are great college players can make money from that now.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
especially people like when you look at like JJ Redick or like anybody like that. So yeah.
Because when you think about like, and Johnny Manziel talked about this, all those jerseys flying off the shelves, it's like, give me a cut of that so I'm like compensated and can move forward with my life after I'm getting my education. Do you know what I mean?
It's no different than if like, and Devin made this point to me, it's no different than like if somebody brought a big science patent to the school and things of that nature, they don't get a cut of that. You know, so it's like, what are you here in college for?
To play basketball?
No, you're there to get an education, Dave, but I agree with you.
Okay, can we just say that like if you are at one of the blue blood universities and you're one of the top 50 ranked players in your high school class and you're going to a perennial basketball school, that a high percentage of it is not about academics, maybe higher than it should be. I don't know.
No. I agree with you, but I still also think and deem and see as how do you make that, or how do you compensate one part of a college program and not the other one? You get what I'm saying?
There's just not enough time in the day.
It's not about it. I don't want to say it's not enough time in the day. I think it's about like, what do you deem the better factor of this college? Because most colleges, yes, are known by certain groups for their sports, but some other colleges are known for their science achievements, their engineering achievements, you know, things of that nature. They don't get a cut of those patents. They don't get a cut of those things. So it is a very weird and sort of like, you know, ever moving target conversation. But again, I mean, how do you compensate somebody for their work when they're supposed to be there necessarily for their education, even though they do possibly bring in millions of dollars, you know?
Well, I mean, I guess the question is, like, should places of education have sports at all in that case?
No, I think it's fine. I mean, it's no different than regular high schools, you know what I'm saying? But again, to be compensated is just it's a weird conversation to have, and I don't know how or where to start with that conversation. Just because I remember what it was like being in college. You know, you having to go to different classes, you having to pay for your lunch, you know, room and board, this that, and the third, and everything. So, hey, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, how do you just give a kid a check because, you know, hey man, good job, here's $1,200, but.
Because
you know
my jersey sold thousands?
Okay.
I had someone try to convince me one time. So PJ Hairston, I think I'm remembering his name right, but he was a great Carolina player for a period of time. And I think he ended up on the Bobcats, or maybe they were the Hornets by then. But anyway, his jersey number 15 was on the rack, okay, in the student store. And he was in some trouble and he was suspended. And I said, they can still sell his jersey even though he's suspended. And some student worker tried to tell me it was a Vince Carter jersey because he was number 15 too, even though it was a new jersey. It's just like, there is some hypocrisy there. And I think that we're moving away from some of the hypocrisy, but in basketball, there's not the same minor league system as there is in baseball.
I know, and that's that. My buddy was saying that, like, if they were able to maybe implement something like that in college, it would make sense. But then again, like Devin said, like, what about the science students that, you know, bring in the $1 million patents? You know,
I don't know how that works, so I can't say. But you would hope in that situation, people are getting compensated for their work. Yeah. I mean, it's an interesting conversation to have. It is a very, 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 very interesting conversation to have. I also think about it this way sometimes too. It's like at 36 years old, I look back at so much of my life and think, I really didn't know nearly as much as I thought back then. Even like for sure. 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
Yeah, for sure.
And so there's something to be said for paying your dues to people who have invested. And I'm just talking about like in the sciences, I guess. Like, I don't think that you should steal a student's patent, but I'd imagine that there's a small percentage of people who reach getting a patent without a lot of education that has other people who have worked on patents before.
Yeah.
Like you would think that that's how the university would work. Oh, I have patents. I do this research. I can show you the ropes versus trying to fleece you.
Well, yeah. So their names do get attached to the patent and things of that nature, but they don't get the compensation for it because they're not. I forget what the terminology she used, but it specifically has to do with it being like the school owns the patent, but they put down the people who worked on it. You know what I mean? So it's sort of like that type of deal.
I wonder if it works that way for researchers at the university too.
Yeah, no, it's the exact same way. It's no different. Now, again, like it allows you, like their NBA or their NFL is like going to go work for some type of like Pfizer or some other pharma company, you know, big giant pharma company, you know? So like again, you can sort of make the same example, but at the same time, I'm having to put in hours and hours and hours into studying, or like how players have to put hours and hours into game tape and playing the game, you know? So I don't know, man. It's a weird conversation to have. It's a weird conversation to have. I don't know where to start or even where to even remotely go from there, you know?
Yeah. Well, March Madness takes. I am curious to see UConn. Again, I think that they're probably the best team. If I had to pick one.
Okay.
I think they have a really good coach, though.
No Michigan State, man?
Sorry, Winston.
Okay.
I tend to, if I want to predict a winner, not pick the team you picked.
Fair enough, man.
Except for the Lions, I was riding with you.
Please, we're not even going to talk.
I'm not even going to talk about the fact that you cried a little bit.
We can't talk about that till September. Like, we just can't. We can't even discuss.
Wake me up when September ends.
I mean, in discussing coaches, like, I think it's funny how Detroit Mercy went 1-31. 1-31.
It reminds me of that Boston College player. He was going to graduate. He played his last game. He's like, "What was your favorite memories from playing on the team?" Is the terrible record. He's like, "Going out to eat."
Not going out to eat.
But I mean, you just gotta feel demoralized if you have a 131 season.
Yeah,
everybody
man.
involved.
Yeah, man. Everybody. I mean, I can't even necessarily even blame the coach. You gotta put that on everybody, including the team. It's like what were people thinking, doing, and going through to go? Because my thing is like, I wonder even how many conversations were had, maybe even after 1-10, 1-12. 1-21. You know, like what conversations were had? Because that's well. I mean, we could be real quick about this topic, but I mean, what do you do, man? What do you do? How do you even change the culture of a team that loses like that next season?
Well, you got to think you have to start over.
Yeah, well, they're getting rid of the coach, but Jesus, man, it's like
someone's got to take the fall.
Somebody's got to take the fall, and it sucks that it's the coach. Heard he's a great coach, but man, that's sad. 1-31. I pray Detroit Mercy picks it up next season, man. Y'all from the home team, so
Winston really rides for everything.
I ride for any and everything,
including Big Sean.
Period. Okay. Period. All right. What the girlies be like. Period. Like, all right. All day, every day. Everything's Detroit and Michigan. Doesn't matter. Well, not U of M. We don't like U of M, but still, like everything's Michigan.
Michigan, everything except for the Wolverines. Is that
except for the? Yo, do not talk about blue and maize around me.
I will not say go or blue.
We will fight,
especially not together.
We will fight. No, not even kidding you. Something that Dave loves the most is the WNBA.
WNBA.
You know, women's basketball. We love women's basketball. You guys are awesome, man. Skill set's crazy. Their new season is coming up, and they got a draft coming up. Indiana Fever have the first pick for the second time in a year in a row. They ended up getting, I think her name's Aaliyah Boston last year. She won Rookie of the Year, and it's kind of obvious who they're gonna go with. Mm-hmm. And her name is Caitlin Clark. I mean, that's AKA Baby Stephen, you know? Baby Steph Curry.
anyone ever called her baby Stephen? Do you think?
Me. I will be the first to coin it. That's baby Steph right there. She can shoot from anywhere. I saw old high school footage. They were calling her overrated. They were doing like overrated. You know, they were doing all of that.
That's such a high school thing.
Put up 40.
Yeah, you got to like it.
Woo, that girl can shoot, boy. I think it's interesting just how it's supposed to go. They have the other young lady. I forget what team she plays for, but she's a center or forward.
Angel Reese?
Not Angel Reese. The other girl. She's a Caucasian young lady. She's a forward.
Just call her White Winston.
No, I'm not doing that. We're gonna be PC on this spot. We're gonna be PC. All right? I don't want to get caught up. All right. She's really good defensively, but they say she has a lot of fouls and everything like that. I mean, we kind of already know she's not going number 1, but they said she's going to be the number 2 pick. Angela Reese, I think they said is going to be like number 7 or 8. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not really sure.
So Cheryl Swoopes right to think that Angel Reese is going to have a different time?
You want to get into that? We can get into it. We can have a real conversation. All right. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with Cheryl Swoopes, 4-time NBA champion.
Yeah.
She was on Gil's pod, and they asked her about Caitlyn, and I don't want to mince her words. So we're gonna put the clip right here.
So that's a 2-part question for me. Because I say this, yes, records are made and set to be broken. But if you're going to break a record, this isn't just for Caitlyn, but you asked me about Caitlyn. If you're going to break a record, to me, if it's legitimate, you have to break that record in the same amount of time that player set it.
Okay.
Right? So if Kelsey Plum set that record in 4 years, well, Caitlyn should have broke that record in 4 years. But because there's a COVID year and then there's another year, you know what I mean? So she's already had an extra year to break that record. So is it truly a broken record? I don't know.
You think exactly how I
don't think so, but yeah, that'll go in the record books as Caitlin Clark is the all-time, whatever it is. I don't even know what the number is, but that's the way it'll be. And I don't think it should be. So will Caitlin Clark be a good pro? Absolutely. Will Caitlin Clark come into the WNBA and do what she's doing right now? Immediately? Absolutely not.
All right. So now that you guys have seen the clip, I'm going to say I agree to disagree, but still also agree with a little bit of what she said.
Someone do the math of the words that he just used.
That's boy math. You know, that's boy math. That's boy math right there. I think, again, like the point that she made about her playing in the same amount of time, you can't blame. It was an act of God that happened with COVID. It was an act of God. You know,
so God gave us COVID?
Well, what I'm saying is that there was nothing we can do to prevent that in sports to where she wouldn't be able to get, you know, a couple more games to play. So, I mean, again, her breaking the record, I don't think has anything to do or has any validity to her not being a great player or her breaking the record and it not counting. I think that's kind of unfair. I think that's very unfair to say, because then my thing would be like, we can say LeBron's championship doesn't count in the bubble.
I think those are two different things, but you could make an argument for both.
Say it all you want to. I think she was wrong about that. But the one thing I do agree with is what she said, possibly about her game translating in the NBA or in the WNBA, about her shooting 40 shots. I do agree with that, because when you do got somebody, let's say she does go to the Indiana Fever, which we are kind of pretty much sure that she's not going to get 40 shots a game. She has to share the ball, of course, because if now I got another tandem with Aaliyah, yeah, of course, we're gonna make this work out. Like, it's probably going to make her more effective and efficient, if you ask me. She may end up shooting 58-60%. Like,
she might end up way more open.
That too as well. Like, she comes off screens nice. So I mean, again, and she could create her own shot too as well. So it's I don't know, and I don't want to put words in Cheryl's mouth or to say like what she was thinking. I don't get the hate, because it's hate. However you want to put it, it's hate. But at the same time, I don't know.
I don't necessarily see it as hate. And this is this isn't really a hot take, but this is the equivalent of Charles Barkley, or who's one of the old heads that's always criticizing players.
It's Charles. It's only Charles.
It's just like, and I think it's a good thing.
Okay.
Because all eyes are good eyes, and
Yes.
I think Cheryl Swoopes was wrong about some of the details. Like she said, she was 25. She's only 22.
She's only 22.
She came into college at the same time as Paige Buchers.
Yep.
Who was actually the one everybody was talking about.
Everybody thought Paige was gonna be it. I ain't gonna hold you. We thought Paige was the truth until baby Steph started shooting that mug.
And so what I'm saying is she's probably not wrong that there will be an adjustment, because I think she's right. The WNBA has the best women's players in the world. Playing on their teams.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
the competition is going to go up, and I think that's okay. Steph Curry, who you made the comp, he wasn't immediately great.
Nah.
He had to, and
He had to become Wardell.
They're both smaller players, so there might be a physical adjustment that has to happen anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't think that she's wrong in saying that it's going to be different. I think she was wrong about some of the details. Caitlin's age, she's not 25, she's 22, but this is just a legend talking about the up-and-coming talent.
And you are a legend, Swoopes. You are a legend.
No,
you are allowed to say what you want to. I just think it's hate.
I mean, her, Cynthia Cooper from those Houston Rocket teams, you can't tell us shit. We won 4 in a row.
Hey, bro. Hey,
it's like,
look, I'm
these
with
are
you.
the legends of the game.
You are allowed.
They're allowed to have an opinion, and
it's still hate.
And it shows to me that women's basketball is going to become more of a thing because we're talking about it.
You think Caitlin can put butts in seats?
Of course.
Okay.
I think Caitlin staying in school and getting paid whatever they can pay her through the NIL, which is probably better than a salary that she could get in the WNBA, which is sad, but it's like she's going to put butts in seats.
Yeah. I want to see how her game translates. I think she might really change the game, to be honest with you, sort of like Steph Curry. Steph Curry really he really changed the landscape of the NBA. We got to be honest about it. And I think she can be that game changer for the WNBA. She can really be that woman who puts the WNBA on her back. I think if not her, who else,
Well, I mean, it could be anyone because, there are new players that come into the league every year.
I just think the excitement.
She's got a lot of hype.
And the excitement and her gameplay all match. You cannot deny it. You can't get around it. You can't get by it. Period. She is going to be somebody who is looked at to do what other people can't do, and probably will catch a little flack for it.
So Cheryl Swoopes is the first player in WNBA and NBA history to win 3 MVPs and 3 Defensive Players of the Year.
Cool.
She's competitive.
Very.
She can have an opinion about this.
Hey, you're allowed to. It can still be hate though. It can be looked at as a little bit of hate. I'm not saying she is no, you're terrible. You're a terrible analyst. How dare you? No, you're allowed to say it. You have put the work in to get that message across. But at the same time, it always looks funny when another player talks about another player's gameplay to a certain degree who hasn't even been able to show us what they can even do yet. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying.
That's true, but all I'm saying is we could criticize Shaq and Charles Barkley for doing the same thing all the time.
Yeah, I think we give Charles a lot more heat than we do Shaq. We give Charles a lot more. Now, if Charles had a couple rings behind him, I don't think it'd be as much. I'm just being honest. We give Charles a lot more heat.
Well, Charles Barkley, it's kind of, and I know he wants to murder Skip Bayless with his bare hands, but it's just like
he said that too.
He is a little bit of a villain.
Very much so.
So,
yeah,
kind of comes with the territory.
Yeah, it comes with the territory, and I just want Caitlin to succeed. I think Caitlin can do it. I think Caitlin is going to be amazing at what she does because, again, if y'all haven't seen it, I swear to God, y'all really need to watch her highlight films. she can shoot from anywhere. Just put a ball in her hand, she'll go crazy with it.
Poll question: who is more of a sniper, Caitlin Clark or Larsa Pippen? Y'all let us know in the comments.
Are we talking from anywhere on the court, Dave? Or are we talking like in the paint? Are we talking 3-point line?
Oh, you know what I realized that I misunderstood? You were saying you don't understand why older women date younger men. I thought you were saying you don't understand why men date younger women.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, I don't think you got it, but I'm glad you got it now.
I got it now. I'm not stupid, just sometimes.
I'm glad you got it. Oh, wait, before we sign off, UFC 299 is this Saturday. I'm going to try and get Dave to come watch it with me. We got my man Sugar Sean.
What is he doing? Is he playing with a shake weight? What is he doing?
Man, I'm gonna show you some of the stuff before we leave. But Sean versus Vera 2 is happening. Sean is the champion, and I think Sean is gonna put on a show for us just like he did before. Yeah, man, Sean's him. Sean is him. Hey, I can't wait to show you that. UFC 299, guys, March 9th.
Mark your calendar. It's tomorrow.
It is tomorrow. Well, this comes out Monday, so they'll be.
Mark your calendar. It was 2 days ago.
But yeah, we'll definitely do a little review of that because I love UFC fights. I don't think Dave does, so I'm gonna try.
I like UFC fights.
Oh, you do? Oh, well, look what we find out with our friends. You know, you find out something new every day, right?
I like watching two men beat each other.
Oh, of course, man. I love it. Like, just keep. Just hammer fist.
It's like, you're beating my ass, but now I got your neck.
Yep, now I got your neck.
Good night.
Night. Oh, man, I can't.
You lost, bitch.
Oh, wait, hold on. And I totally forgot. Before we go, I know we don't got enough time, Dave, but we just got to talk about this really quickly. Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul.
Let's go.
July 17th on Netflix. Oh, my God. If I've never seen a first-degree murder on TV, we probably will see one. And
you think Mike's gonna do him like that, huh?
I'm thoroughly convinced if Mike loses,
it's on purpose.
It's a fix. It's a fix, and I'm gonna riot. I'm gonna go out into the Raleigh streets and riot.
Okay,
I'm gonna flip my car. I'm gonna flip my car and I'm gonna set it on fire.
Are you going to flip it by driving it, or are you going to He-Man?
I'm gonna He-Man flip my car and I'm gonna riot in the middle of downtown Raleigh. That is what I'm gonna do. Okay, but I'm actually cannot wait to see it. It's going to be awesome. I do find it funny that Jake Paul does choose people on the latter end of their career and possibly not real fighters or either that are matched to him age-wise.
He can do that when he's tired of boxing.
Well, I would say he can do that only because he is a YouTuber and you want to be able to get the biggest bag possible. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's the game. Like, what do you want us to do here? Like, what is he supposed to do? You know,
you could say that if he was a real man or something like that, that he would fight the pro boxer, but that's not going to keep him paid.
Not even keep him paid. It's not going to keep things interesting because, again, like, I'm not going to say he's bringing boxing back, but he's making it interesting with the choices.
He's bringing celebrity deathmatch to real life.
That's lit, man. I love it. I thought it was funny, though, when Mighty Mouse from UFC, he was talking about it, and he was saying that his choice of fighters is a little weird and wonky, but I'm like, it's a money game. That's all it is. Yeah. It's about money. I think if people looked at it more like that, again, like it's almost like how the UFC goes. It's like, yeah, you may want to have comparable fighters together, but I want to be able to sell a fight. The point is to sell a fight, put butts in the seats for people to buy pay-per-views. That's it, point blank, plain and simple.
Sports is entertainment.
Period.
We have to have something to talk about.
Yeah, I can't wait. I just can't wait. July 17th, we at the crib, we drinking. We're going to do it live. We're going to do it live. Netflix, don't sue us, but we're going to do this live. I swear to God, this is going to be an amazing event, and I cannot wait. I want to see the undercard, too.
It's the event of the season.
I bet you the undercard is going to be fun, too. It's going to
be a hot summer.
Yeah, I can't wait. Got anything else to say, Dave?
LBJ.
Big Bron.
GOAT.
Big Bron 40K. 40K Bron.
40K for a verse and no. Give me 10 more racks and then we'll talk.
Give me 10 more racks, baby. Hey, y'all, it's been fun, man. We'll catch y'all later. Peace.